Hey, hello again. My name is Emma and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. Okay, we're on a roll. We are on a roll, guys. Okay, so let me just point out one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I ended up going to Aldi's, right? And I found these cookie mug toppers. I thought they were really cute, except every time I put it on my tea, well, I think they were supposed to be for mugs, and not tea. It doesn't stay. It keeps falling off. But I figure with the mug it'll probably be better because it has the foam and it'll stick more like into the foam and to the cup. So yeah, but I thought they were cute anyway, and they were cinnamon crunchy caramelized cookies designed to fit the rim of your mug. So yeah, it's supposed to be for mugs, not teacups. But I thought they were cute and I thought I'd give it a try. So yeah, if you see these, pick them up. Dollar Tree. All these always carries these like different kind of German treats, cookies, candies, and some of them, it all depends on your taste, but some of them are good and some of them are, so and so. But yeah, if you see these, pick them up. They taste like cinnamon and they're really good. So I am having some tea this morning, or afternoon. Actually, it's already after 1 o'clock. And I'm definitely having some tea because my throat is like really, really dry. I think I'm going to be eating a lot of soup today and anything that's hot. And this was good because I got these at Dollar Tree, and these come with a whole like a 6-pack. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs in a box. But you also get 6 tea bags in this little box. I thought it was like only 2, but no, you get, oh, there goes one. You get 6 of them. And they're not that big, but they're not that small neither. So I'll get that in a minute. I was really surprised, and me, I usually don't read packages, not all the time, So then I looked at the box, and it does say 6. It does say 6 packs. It says 6. Oh, I can't read that. No, 5. It has 5. I can't see that close. 5 tea. I think it says bags. No, it has 5 of them in there. I thought I saw 6 from far away. And then this is cute because it says, finding my passion, and it says, a mother needs a moment. And it's passion fruit green tea. I have to admit, it tastes pretty good. It really does. And I'm just going to have a little bit of this because crunchy. And they're in shape of pumpkins and and leaves. Mm. 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 I definitely have to eat a sandwich after this. I'm hungry. So I'm just, you're like, wow, you're really drinking that tea fast. Is it? Oh, I'm just trying to soothe my throat. Okay, anyway. So, finally finished Hannah's war. So, when I was reading this, and it takes me a while, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to read books back to back like I was before. I was really getting confused with all the characters, and I was getting them mixed up with one book and then the other book, and I'm like, no, that was the other book I was reading, no. So I'm going to stick to one book at a time. So, and I'm going to start writing down the characters' names, because I always get lost on their names. But Hannah's War was okay. I think I mentioned last week that she had mentioned Oppenheimer's character in here. And I think I told you guys that they have that movie out right now. I can't wait to watch it when it does come out. I mean, I'm not really into scientist movies, but I like to watch it anyway. Just because of his, the whole thing from him coming from Germany, and he's the one who helped the astronauts and are, go into space and stuff like that. It was very, very interesting. But Hanna was a physicist. And what happened was that we had these two characters, actually three characters that had come into play with this. And it was Hanna, Jack Delaney, who was the investigator, and then it was let me see, who was the investigator, and then it was, and that's the other thing too. I have to start writing down the names. Dr. Weiss, that was Hanna. Jack Delaney was the investigator. And who do you call it? The guy that she was seeing, or the guy that she fell in love with, was something Frey. I'm just trying to find his name real quick. Author's notes, the question, Now, she did have this one part where she was like dreaming. See, that's why I have to write down the names, because then I start looking for everything, and then I can't find it. Oh, Stefan Frey. So Stefan Frey, Hanna Weiss, and Jack Delaney. So these were the three characters that were all like mostly all who came into play. Now Hanna was telling him the story about how her and Dr. Frey ended up at his place because she was a Jewish girl scientist, and because she couldn't get out anywhere, she was like in hiding, doing her work, all her lab work in hiding. So she ended up working with Stefan's father, and then that's how she got to know Stefan, the son. And then they hooked up, and he helped her and her sister Sublime to get away from Germany, because she was sending notes to soldiers, but it kind of like backfired, and they thought she was a spy too or something like that, or they found out she was a Jew, and well, she ended up dying. But which hurt her real bad, but at least Stefan did try to help. And she couldn't understand why he was so close to her. Jack couldn't understand why he was so close to her. But then Jack found out later on and said, no, you were trying to use her. You were trying to get information out of her. And she thinks you're in love with her. And he was, saying, I am in love with her. And she was in love with him. And they had gone to his place where it was like a suburban place, suburbs. And he had, they were well off, and he had a beautiful house. And they spent some time there, and she was reminiscing about the romantic moments they had. But Jack really didn't believe her because she was this kind of person who was always telling lies. So he couldn't tell the truth from the lies. And so finally, I think more bombs were being dropped, and the house got bombed, the one the one where Stefan was at. And Jack had told her, well, your so-called lover is dead. And she refused it, didn't want to believe it. And apparently they finally arrested her. They took her to Leavenworth. I think it was a jail, I don't know, somewhere in Germany, I don't know. And they were gonna literally like hang her, because they were gonna kill her. But Jack was kind of like, excuse me, it's just a tea. Like, kind of like felt like Hanna did. I don't believe he's dead neither, but I want to find him because I need to ask him questions. So he better not be dead, So Jack did end up going to the home where Stefan's dad lived, and yeah, Stefan was there, and he had told Stefan that this girl that you made fall in love with you is gonna die. She is like ready to get hung, and it's because you used her. And he's like, no, I didn't use her. She doesn't know anything about what's going on. It's not her fault. You guys have to let her go, and so forth. And so instead of Hanna being the spy that everybody thought she was, it wasn't Hanna. It was Stefan who was the spy. But, and then they really didn't get him on anything neither, because the things that he found out, again, Hanna was always telling lies. So all the equations and all the documents that she had written about, of how to build a bomb were all wrong. So even if he wanted to share the information with anybody, it would have been wrong. And he felt like, he couldn't believe that he was duped by a woman, And that's how Hanna was. She never really told the truth. Everything was a lot of white lies all the time. And that's why Jack was always like, couldn't tell the difference whether she was telling the truth or not. So she was a smart cookie. So she ended up getting out of Leavenworth. She did survive. And she was reminiscing about everything that, like, she was going through a dream and thinking that everything was hunky-dory, that Sublime was, out and passing out, notes to the soldiers, and she was Stefan in his home, all, perfect and everything. And then she, wakes up to reality and finds out, no, everything is still the same. Everything is still in chaos. But towards the end, she did end up hooking up with Stefan afterwards. I thought she was going to be with Jack. At least that's where I thought it was going to lead to. But it wasn't like that. She did end up being with Stefan afterwards. And then towards the end, she really wanted to be with him. And then she asked Stefan, okay, so what's next? Because remember, they're two scientists. They're two people who are trying to, discover things. And he goes, a boy or a girl? And she was like, yeah, no, I don't want to have kids. Not because of how the world is and all the work that we have to do. Being a mother wasn't in her in you know, in the picture for her right now. And she was like, no. So she was glad that they ended up agreeing that, you know, being with each other would have been more better without having kids, because it would have gotten in the way of their so-called ongoing discovery. So they kind of like didn't want to have anything to do with children, which I thought was kind of sad. You know, I was like, what? Okay. But so they both agreed on that and just started working on whatever projects they were going to do from here on, you know, forth. But yeah, and in that time they were talking about the Hiroshima bombing. They were talking about Hitler. She did have Oppenheimer in the book, and like I said, it's so strange how I'm reading this book and then all of a sudden, you know, it's out in theaters or whatever. But yeah, and that's how it ended. It wasn't really a romantic book. I thought there was going to be more to it. The books like this, you just never know which way they're gonna go. But so that's basically what happened. Jack Delaney, you know, ended up sending her a little trinket box, and I think when he was questioning her, she kept on playing with her hair and kept putting it up, and I guess he got annoyed with her and he took away her pin thing from her head, and or I don't know, I guess when he was in the car with her and they were romantically being together, he took the pin out of her hair, and I think he kept it. Anyway, he had it in a little trinket box, and he mailed a parcel to her. And then when she opened it, it was that little comb thing. And Stefan said, oh, I think this is yours. And her, I guess she was recalling, you know, about that. And she recognized it. And then Stefan took it, because she always had her hair up. You know, she rarely ever had it down. So Stefan took the hair comb, and he picked up her hair, and he put the comb in her hair. And he goes, something about where it should be. And that's where it ended. And that was it. Now, I guess Jack Delaney went back. And Jack Delaney ended up being a Jew himself. So that was very interesting that all this time, me too, I thought he was American, but he wasn't. He was a Jew. He was a Jew. Well, he could have been an American Jew. That could have been. But yeah, his nationality was a Jew. And the only reason he was able to study in some kind of university because he changed his name, and that was the only way he was able to get in. And he kept that name, Jack Delaney, which was an American name. So like I said, it was an interesting book. Not to say anything least about it, but I always like the romantic side of books all the time, but it was still good. It was still good. So, finally done. If you see it, pick it up. You know, it's a good read. Not great, but good. And I will be going on to another book, but not until after I finish reading The Duke's Daughter. So, this one I'm going to be reading very, very slowly, but I'm going to concentrate more on The Duke's Daughter. That one is on my Kindle. This one is called Unnappily in Love. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, because I don't like reading this stuff in it. If I do, I'll read it to myself. But this is the next one I'll be reading. Actually, did I want to? Yeah, I think I'm going in sequence as I got these books. So this is next. I haven't seen any other books lately, so I did see one about an Asian market guy who opened up a restaurant, and I want to read that one after this one. Give me a second. My nose is just running. So, yeah. So that's the way I'm going to be doing it. So this one, and I'm going to take my time on this one. I'm going to write down the characters so I won't get mixed up. And there's always usually like 3 or 4 characters who are the main people that you have to concentrate on, because everybody else is like, whoa, like in what was the other Dream? Something Dream? something of Dream, Exile of Dreamers. Oh my God, they had so many characters. They had all the girls who were in the school. They had what was he? The soldier who was in love with see, I even forgot their names. They had the main mistress who was the head of the school, which her name was Emma. I remember that. And then all the other guys, the soldiers, and there were just so many names. I couldn't keep up with them, so that was kind of hard. But that was a good book. I did, but I think I read one book that I wasn't too fond of neither, and that was the one with the mafia, and then they had a second one, and then a third. I go, no, I'm done, because that one ended abruptly, and I was like, what just happened? And it was just too exotic for me. Now I like romance. I don't like way over. No, I'm not looking for that. So too much sexual, notions of this. And I don't need that. So I liked it, but then I didn't like it, and the ending was like terrible. Like I said, it just abruptly ended, and I was like, what just happened? So, and then in order for you to find out, you had to go to the second book, and then the third book. I go, no, it's like a whole trilogy. I was like, no, we're done. So, and I noticed there's a lot of books like that. That if you want to find out, you have to order the other one. That's how they get you. I was like, no. But anyway, that's the way I'm gonna go. So I'm going to start reading this one slowly. I'm going to finish The Duke's Daughter, which I'm really intrigued with that one, because in The Duke's Daughter, and I forgot their names already, the main guy was falling in love with the Duke's daughter, and he did, and now she fell in love with him, but now it's at the point where, you were trying to use me all this time, so now she's really upset with him and doesn't want anything to do with him. So I have to continue reading that one to find out which way it's going to go. So I think that's it for today, and I hope you are enjoying my little series that I'm having on this program, and hopefully my throat will sound better. And and I'll be able to talk a little bit more. So, like a fish in the sea, so glad you caught me. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more about The Duke's Daughter. And we will see you next week on Tea Time Tuesday. Bye.